Herzlich willkommen zu Music Talk, dem Music- und Sound Production Podcast aus Berlin.
Hello.
Hello and
Hello, Music Talk.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex, for the introduction.
No problem.
Okay, hallo und herzlich willkommen bei Music Talk. Hier der junge Mann hier neben mir, der gleich mal die Aufgabe des Moderators mit übernommen hat, das ist Alex Silva. Hallo Alex.
Hello.
And we're here today at the Avid Creation Tour, and you're doing a masterclass kind of workshop, not on Pro Tools, but on how you work with Pro Tools with Herbert Groenemeyer, correct? Okay.
Yes.
There's one question I need to ask because there's this rumor that some of the playbacks that Groenemeyer used on Mensch were actually done in Reason.
Yes.
Really?
I did the entire Reason programming.
So I got the right man here.
Yes.
Very interesting. Because there's always this debate, can you actually use these kind of software tools for a real grown-up, decent production?
Course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, any instrument, any device which makes sound is a potential tool that you can use to make an album. And we have a very big guitar collection, 15 or 20 guitars, ranging from vintage Gibsons to very cheap Dan Electro's guitars. And for me, each one is as worthy as the next one.
Okay, so there's no prejudgment that you say, we can't use it because it's only a software tool.
No.
Is that become sort of a natural thing these days, that you sort of treat the software as a natural part of your arsenal?
Yes, I think the only danger, if you can call it a danger even, is that if you're working outside of Pro Tools, you might adventure slightly more. If you don't get a sound you want, you might think, okay, let's put it through an amplifier, let's use this cheap microphone, let's cover the amplifier with a towel. Who knows what you need to get the sound you want. In Pro Tools, obviously, you say, okay, let's try a lo-fi plugin, let's try this, let's try that. It becomes slightly more possible that you're doing the same thing that everyone else is. So,
you see that as a danger? I mean,
yeah, it could be a danger, because if everybody uses the same basic plugin to do their EQ, let's take a little example. If everyone uses the Bomb Factory 1176 plugin,
but that was true in the old days. Everybody was using Yuri 11 hardware.
Yeah, so but also they were using many other things. Of course, now you have a big range of plugins. Whether they really give you the certain something that a real thing, like a real Fairchild, would give you compared to a Bomb Factory plugin, I mean, there's a big difference in the two, If you use a Moog plugin compared to a real mini Moog, there's a difference.
Sure.
So, and this difference is this much, maybe, but that's what makes records special, is this much difference in something.
I mean, there's a point that I always try to make, is that, like, when in the 70s, you heard a band and you said, hey, this is great, we want to sound like, let's say, 80s, like Duran Duran. You wouldn't have the equipment that these guys had. So you'd be there with your Hohner clavinet, trying to get a synth sound, and suddenly you'd be original. And I think that's been taken away a little bit, because now you just bring up the plugin with the original sound.
But that's, I just gave a talk upstairs, and a little bit that's what I was talking about, was that it's good to have a little limitation sometimes, to find what you can get out of something. If you're in a room and you want to make a record and you only have one drum kit, one bass guitar and one guitar, you have to make effort to get something. And when you put that effort into it, it gives you back something, you get something in return for that. If you just say, well, I don't like this Fender Classic Vintage, I'll take the Marshall, I'll take the Vox, or I'll take the Soldano, it's the effort isn't there. So you don't try so hard that it works, whatever it takes, whatever your limitation is, that this sound, that's all we got, let's make it work. And that sound also would influence how you would complete the song, how you would maybe write the song, you know. If you were a songwriter and you think, okay, I want to write a song, I've got my guitar, I've got my plugin, I have infinite possibilities with my guitar sound, you know. Where do you start, actually, you know? If you have a little guitar amp that your father bought you when you were 7 from the local corner shop, and that is all you know it very intimately, and it influences what you do, you know.
And that scares me sometimes when I look at people's computer and I open up the plugin window and it goes.
Yeah, I'm guilty too. I'm not this.
You're not innocent.
I'm not a monk.
You did all the programming in Reason, right? I mean, so
I don't use any plugins.
But I think you've made a point that I always like to stretch too. Is that when your options are limited, then you need to stretch it. You know, like I did a couple of tracks recently with an SP1200, which is just a 10-second sampling 12-bit drum machine.
Yeah, I got one.
But you can, I got 3.